The push continues to save the Colby Mountain Fire Lookout from closure. We'll tell you how Butte County supervisors are getting involved. A feather in the cap for educators at Chico State, being recognized as one of the best in the country for its online degree program. And an unusual arrest in Southern California after a standoff involving a suspect who refused to come out of a manhole.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
A new development to report this noon hour in the effort to reopen the Colby Mountain Fire Lookout. The Butte County Board of Supervisors today approved sending a letter to the U.S. Forest Service opposing the closure. We told you last year that plans to close the tower were initially announced because of the need for costly maintenance and repairs. The tower overlooks mountain communities that include Butte Meadows and Forest Ranch. A community group from Butte Meadows moved to appeal the decision. The letter by county supervisors reads in part, the Colby Mountain Fire Lookout, though located in Tehama County, has long served as a vital component of wildfire detection in Butte County and the surrounding region. As wildfire behavior becomes increasingly severe and unpredictable, early detection remains a cost-effective tool for protecting lives, property, critical infrastructure, and natural resources. And in an area that's been devastated by multiple megafires, the Forest Service should be looking at ways to increase public safety rather than reduce it. This is a live look now from the camera on the Colby Mountain Fire Lookout. Absolutely gorgeous, and as you can see for miles, the variable clouds outside right now. Meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding has a look at what to expect for the day ahead.
Well, hey there, Linda. We are taking a look at water vapor imagery here and noticing here at the end of this loop, we do have an active system pushing towards the region for today. So with that, we are talking about rain chances going up. You can see some cloud cover off in the distance looking from our Bald Eagle Mountain camera in Plumas County. Also some of that snowpack hanging on for dear life. But we do have rain and snow chances in the forecast for today. So afternoon rain and snowfall for the Cascades and those higher elevations. We're talking about a mostly cloudy feel here, but we will see some active weather pushing into the Sierra by this evening in the way of some snowfall likely. A mixture of sun and clouds for today, but those rain chances moving in by the evening, I will say, into the foothills too, and also for the valley, lots of 50s today, and looking at those rain chances that could last, especially for the mid-valley up until tonight. We'll look at that in more detail coming up.
All right, thank you, Mikkel. New at noon, we're getting our first look at the Shasta County man arrested for abusing a 5-month-old baby. This is a mugshot of 39-year-old Christopher Hasley, arrested after deputies alerted by a local hospital of the baby's extensive injuries, including brain bleeds. Medical staff reported the injuries were not consistent with the explanation provided by Hasley, who's now charged with felony child abuse. The baby remains in critical condition at an out-of-area hospital. Friends and loved ones gathered at Harrison Stadium in Oroville last night to remember 2 local teenagers who died in a weekend car crash. 17-year-old Carter Lyles and 19-year-old Santino Ramirez were killed in a crash on Dayton Road near Durham early Sunday. The CHP said the car hit 2 trees and burst into flames. A third person in the car was rescued by a passerby. Lyles was a senior at Las Plumas High School, played on the school football team. Family members tell us both young men were loving and caring people. The CHP is still investigating the crash. Well, you can expect to see smoke in the sky above Concow Basin today because of a large prescribed burn. Crews will burn 384 acres at 4 locations in the Plumas National Forest. 266 acres will be near Kirby Creek and Vista Ridge Roads, 51 acres near Crane Ridge Road, 64 acres on Rim Road north of Flea Valleys, and 3 acres will be burned east of the Concow Reservoir. The U.S. Forest Service is asking you to stay out of the area. The burning is expected to continue through Thursday. Well, the deep freeze is spreading nationwide after the massive winter storm that marked one of the biggest snowfall events in our country in years. Millions of Americans woke up under cold alerts with record lows set to fall in at least 10 states. George Solis is in Tennessee, where temperatures are plummeting.
It is bitterly cold here in Nashville, currently about 9 degrees. Feels actually colder, and many trees still look like this that are iced over. And this icy cold still has an icy grip on much of the South. Many neighborhoods and people trying to do cleanup are dealing with stuff like this, frozen branches. It's not good news for the hundreds of thousands that remain without power. We have been in homes in this region, especially those that are without power. People are finding creative solutions to stay warm. One mother actually setting up a tent inside of her home, another family setting up a mattress, grabbing all of their blankets, and they are just playing card games, hoping the power comes back on soon. Here in the immediate Nashville area, customers still remain without power. They are mobilizing resources to get people back on the grid as soon as possible. But meanwhile, this deep, deep freeze continues. The sun is expected to warm things up a bit, but the concern is once the sun sets, a lot of this is going to refreeze. We have seen parking lots that look like ice rink. In the Northeast, some areas have seen more than 20 inches of snow, and unfortunately it does appear that there may be more snow on the way for the region. But back here in Nashville, you will have crews that are going to be braving these bitter Arctic conditions to try and get people back on the grid as soon as possible. Back.
All right, that was George Solis reporting from Nashville. Now, New York City's mayor this morning reported 10 deaths linked to the weather there. 34 deaths are being reported across the country. Auschwitz survivors paid tribute on this, the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Nazi German death camp by Soviet troops. The Auschwitz-Birkenau Museum and Memorial preserves the Auschwitz death camp set up on Polish soil by Nazi Germany during World War II. More than 1.1 million people, mostly Jews, were killed in the gas chambers or by starvation, cold, and disease at Auschwitz. Between 1941 and 1945, Nazi Germany and its collaborators systemically murdered some 6 million Jews across German-occupied Europe. New at noon, Chico State makes the list of best colleges to obtain an online degree. The university ranked 89 on the list by U.S. News and World Report. It is the only CSU school to make this year's listing. Chico State offers 9 bachelor's degrees and 5 master's degrees online. Currently, about 11% of undergrad students at the school are pursuing online degrees, up from 10.7% in fall of 2024. Yale University announced today it will offer free tuition to families with incomes below $200,000. The university also said an expansion of its financial aid program will also cover all costs of attendance for families with incomes below $100,000. The changes take effect for students entering in the 2026-2027 academic year. The North State Symphony presents Billy the Kid this weekend. Maestro Scott Seaton joins us next with what to look forward to.